Hello and welcome to Dateline New Haven on WNHH-FM, New Haven's home for community radio. I'm Paul Bass, inviting you to look behind the headlines on the stories that make our community tick. It's our Basslines and Headlines edition today, where we look at the latest headlines from the New Haven Independent, our go-to source for local news, talk a little bit about what they're saying in those stories and what it makes us think, and then pivot to music inspired by the headlines. Here's the first headline that really got my goat, to be honest. New landlords to tenants, hello, period, goodbye. It's the latest in the just continually infuriating saga of the Emerson, one of those grand old buildings in New Haven, the brick buildings that have the names in front, don't you love those? Although sometimes they're kind of faded and they've seen better times, and even that's evocative. Other times they bring it back. This is a brick building on Orange Street, near Wall, next to Trinity Lutheran Church. The church owned it forever and then had a separate group that really was the church owning it. And they let it run down a lot. And the people there were living in bad condition. In such a case, there was flooding. The people had to be moved out. And the church, yes, a church, wouldn't talk to the people. And in fact, they were treating them kind of badly. They had to get a tenants union, which is a good thing. They've been fighting them, so the church just bailed. They sold the building. So the new owner comes in. And the tenants wanted to try to buy the building, but no, they weren't going to let that happen. So the new owner comes in. He doesn't come in and say, "Hi, everyone, I'm the new owner. Let's work this out. I'm going to try to make repairs. I'm going to make sure everything's taken care of. You can reach me here at this number." Instead, I hate when companies do this. They just put a notice on people's door, no warning, saying, "Hey, your lease is not being renewed. So whenever your lease runs out, you're out." And they say, "Oh, you can contact at property management," although that's someplace they can really go. Our reporter, Tom Breen, who wrote the story, the editor of The Independent, he actually went up those 19 stories. Knowing Tom, he might have even taken the stairs. And it was a fake office, kind of. There was a secretary there, but nobody works there. You can't see anyone and talk to anyone. And as Tom reported, there was a tenant who lease runs out next month. She has 6 weeks to move. All of a sudden, no notice. And she emails and says to those guys, "Some people's leases aren't running out for 8 months. Can I have some time? I'm going away. I wasn't planning to have to find a new home in no time." I've been in that position, by the way. I had to find at no notice by a landlord who had lied to me to find a new place. I had little kids. They were starting school, and all of a sudden he said, I'm not selling the building. I should have realized that meant he was selling the building when he was poking around. And then all of a sudden we had like 4 weeks to go. And it wasn't the right time to be finding a place, in terms of the market. September had already come. He didn't even give us time to find a place. I know what that's like. I know I hit the roof. But anyway, so she emails them and gets back a form notice saying they can't right now answer the email. Now, if you're going to make money off of people's ability to live, breathe, sleep, if you're going to make money on that basic need, okay, in our system, you're allowed to do that. But that comes with some responsibilities, including as a human being. They changed the locks on a couple people because they're tenant organizers, so that's just like, forget it. You're not allowed to do that. But you have also an ethical obligation. Like, why are you going in to make money this way off of people's basic need for a home? And you're going to treat them like such dirt you won't even get to talk to them when you're throwing them out on the street for nothing they did wrong. Anyway, the headline was, "New landlord to tenants, hello, goodbye." Now, we don't like to do the obvious things at WNHH, but if we were to do the obvious thing, we would, of course, play this song by the Beatles.
You say yes, I say no. You say stop, and I say go, go, go. Oh no. You say goodbye, and I say hello. Hello, hello. I don't know why you say goodbye, I say hello.
hello. That would have been a nice thing for the new owners of the Emerson to say to their tenants before throwing people out on the street with 6 weeks' notice because they're greedy and have hearts of stone. But that was Hello Goodbye by the Beatles. Now, something in under 3 minutes. With those hits from the 60s that turned out 50s and 60s, how much went on musically, thematically, in a tight space when they produced those records for AM radio. It's kind of interesting. But you're listening to FM radio, WNHH-FM, on headlines and baseline stories from the New Haven Independent, latest headlines and what we think about it and what they sing about it. Here's a headline I like. There's a story I like this week in the Independent. I like all the stories. Beinecke Jazz reframes reality. It's the Arts and Ideas Fest this year. It's got a lot of new energy, it seems like. A lot of interesting ideas for what to put on, a lot of connected to community stuff, different venues in New Haven. And there was one at Beinecke this week, the Rare Book Museum, you know, where it's all marble and inside the light comes in and it's a big open space with the books in the middle. And they, this is the centennial year of James Baldwin's birth. So a lot of us are reading his old pieces, thinking about James Baldwin. He's the resonance of what he wrote in the Civil Rights era and before the Civil Rights era and today. And what they did is there was a jazz pianist, Kevin Harris. He brought a brass octet onto the second floor of Beinecke. And he has a new piece inspired by Baldwin's The Fire Next Time. And he interspersed recordings of Baldwin's voice from that book with musical passages by his group. Unfortunately, I didn't get to see it. I was really psyched that I made this stupid mistake of showing up right when it started, and the place was so packed. You had to stand way in the back, second floor. You couldn't see anything, couldn't hear what they were saying. So, but I heard it was great, and if you read Eleanor Pollock's piece on it, you get a really good flavor of what it was all about. I got to admit, it's interesting being in all these discussions and rereading Baldwin this year. I'm really enjoying it and reading some stuff I hadn't read before. What strikes me is, so why is he so resonant today? Well, partly it's because of the clarity of his vision. He doesn't mince words. He was a true public intellectual and a great fiction writer, too, in my opinion. And he was going past the simplistic when looking, okay, this is wrong, racism was wrong, economic injustice is wrong, hypocrisy in the church was wrong, discrimination against gay people is wrong. When he looked at the issue, he tried to see it from all sides, not to water down whether any of that is wrong, but understand how all the human beings involved in situations of injustice act and why they act that way, and to see them all as human, not to make excuses for anybody, including the people he agrees with, but try to understand why human beings act the way they do, what we do, if we want to try and understand it, confront it, and not hide from it and do better. Sometimes I think that's lost. In the discussions I hear, I feel like Baldwin is invoked to support any slogan from today. And a lot of them he would support. I'm not sure about others. It's still tricky when you're talking to a dead person who hasn't written for decades what they would say. He died, I think, in the Reagan era, if I'm not mistaken, which I was wondering what he would have said about that, too. I feel like I listen to discussions where Baldwin was held up as, therefore the slogan is right, and those people are bad. I think what Baldwin was seeking in his writing was liberation for everybody by understanding everybody, not watering down, softening critiques of what we do wrong to each other, but to see it as a human being and never I think one reason we've never lost Baldwin is because Baldwin never lost his humanity under some of the most horrible conditions. I think what he was reaching for is what Puff Johnson was aiming for in this recording that's on the Promised Land CD, calling Someday We'll All Be Free. You're listening to Headlines and Basslines, so for some reason, okay, let's just get this playing.
Hang on to the world as it spins around.
we'll all be free. Just wait and see. Oh,
Someday we'll all be free from your lips to God's ears. Puff Johnson, and from the Promised Land collection, inspired by James Baldwin, what I believe the hope of Baldwin is. You're listening to Dateline, New Haven's headlines and Basslines. Headlines from the New Haven Independent on WNHH-FM, and the music and thoughts inspired by him. There's a headline story Laura Glesby wrote this week called New Hallville Gets Back into Building. Since the Model City era, we've seen these nonprofit development corporations come and go into neighborhoods. Neighborhoods like Dixville, New Hallville, Fairhaven, The Hill, West Rock. The idea behind these groups dates to an ideal called maximum feasible participation. One of those bureaucratic words in federal law that both express high hopes and become ironic points of reference. The idea was that so much money flowed into cities like New Haven in the 50s and 60s from the federal government and private foundations to try to address poverty and create opportunity. Often the decisions about what to do with that money came from planners or politicians looking down from above. The theory was that people know best what will help them, what will improve their lives, what should go on in their lives. So you want to have them participate more. And one way is to have neighborhood development corporations that will get some of the money to be spent on building housing, say, or creating jobs. And they will be the developers with a nonprofit model where the neighborhood gets to say what the decisions are. Now, as you can imagine, they become controversial. Who really speaks for the neighborhood? We've all, in the business, especially in the 20th century, covered meetings where people at public meetings said, we speak for the neighborhood. You don't speak for the neighborhood. You're 5 people. We're the 5 who showed up. Well, we talk to people. Well, you don't talk to people. Well, we elected this alder or this mayor, so he listens to us. And that's true. Politics in New Haven got very complicated based on that kind of neighborhood level quest for a piece of the financial pie. Some of those groups did very good work. Hill Development Corporation, for instance. The homes that you see on Winchester Avenue near the Yale rink, those are built by Pete Gray, his former Dixville Development Corporation. And then there were always controversies about whether money was being wasted, patronage, not spent well, not enough oversight from the city. We had fights about that. So these corporations come and go. In New Hallville, we haven't had one, I think, since the 90s. I could be wrong. And now some great neighbors who were involved in everything in New Hallville are now involved in this too. And they've created a New Hallville Community Services Development Corporation to try to build housing, create opportunity. It's an old idea. It's a good idea. It doesn't happen in a day. It doesn't happen in a week. It doesn't happen in a year to rebuild communities, but it does happen. It can happen if you know that some things take time. Linda Segar knows that. She's the singer right behind Hooray for the Riff Raff in this great song. She had a recent song called Buffalo. It's about waiting for the buffalo on one level with traditions and people who plan how to catch when the buffalo run. And it's a metaphor in the song for what can take time. It might be difficult, but you can see a result if you're patient in a personal relationship. And I think it holds for our communities too, because our community involves relationships with each other and to our city. So, with that advice in mind, here's Hooray for the Riff Raff and Buffalo.
2 moons and a raging river, saddled up by the Pinon fire. Drove out to the edge of the Pueblo, bought a drum from a man who cried. And the children's shoes on the ceiling, and the way that you hold my hand. And I yelled and I didn't know the reason, but I knew that you'd understand. 2 weeks just to catch the buffalo, 2 weeks just to catch the buffalo. Some things take time, I know they do. Some things take time, I know they do. I hope our time will never go. I hope our time will never go. 2 weeks just to catch the buffalo, 2 weeks just to catch the buffalo. Will we go like the woolly mammoth or the deer dodo? Gone like the batchman's warbler. Does disappeared like the melting snow. Little Mary on a footpath, or the bridled white-eyed bird, or will we keep on running like the sound of the buffalo herd? That sky-red hawk recorded out on his cousin's farm up north in Minnesota. He tied the recorder in the yard up to a gatepost waiting, slept out in a tent to hear the rumble of the big stampede that one day magically appeared. 2 weeks just to catch the buffalo, 2 weeks just to catch the buffalo. Some things take time, I know they do. Some things take time, I know they do. I hope our time will never go. I hope our time will never go. 2 weeks just to catch the buffalo, 2 weeks just to catch the buffalo. And I want us to be like that, running wild and running free. This year tried to kill us, baby. Well, good luck trying, you can't catch me. Now jump off this cliff with you, if that means we will survive. 'Cause we drove out to the desert just to leave the past behind. And our footsteps fall in shadows, treading light down the canyon trail. And the sun is barely rising, and the stars like a wedding veil. And I cannot lie to you, 'cause you can read my mind. So I think I'll try with you. Some things just take more time. 2 weeks just to catch the buffalo, 2 weeks just to catch the buffalo. Some things take time, some things take time. And I hope our time will never go. I hope our time will never go. 2 weeks just to catch the buffalo, 2 weeks just to catch the buffalo. 2 weeks just to catch the buffalo, 2 weeks just to catch the buffalo. Some things take time, I know they do. Some things take time, I know they do. And I hope our time will never go. I hope our time will never go. 2 weeks just to catch the buffalo, 2 weeks just to catch the buffalo.
Some things take time. We know they do, but it's worth putting in the time. At least that's the view of Hooray for the Riff Raff. And that's a great song. That's just a great song from their latest album. And you're listening to Headlines and Basslines, WNHH-FM, stories, headlines from the New Haven Independent, commentary and music. Spinning off. Here was a headline. Funeral carries slain officer home. That was a sad one. There's a funeral procession with police on motorcycles and people in Dixwell this week. There was a young man, 36 years old, grew up in New Haven, went to Cross, eventually became a cop. He was a TSA agent first, named Jamal Mitchell. And he's in Minneapolis. He was working as a cop. And he goes to help a gunshot victim. And the gunshot victim shot him to death. And that was it. Jamal Mitchell, 36 years. Did good things those 36 years. You know, how long is a life? Is it measured just in years? Or what happens in those years? I was thinking about this week about how sometimes people prepare for death, right? They have an illness that's going to take a while. With this age, things are breaking down. You reflect on your life. You try to make peace with what happened. Never really knows what happens next. And sometimes you die, you just don't know what's coming. You just walk out your door, a car hits you. In this case, you're just doing your job, and it's a job we never know. It's one of those days in the police force where just for some fluke, some person goes crazy, you get caught in the middle of something, and you're dead. Cat Stevens, it made me think of Cat Stevens' song I do like to play on this show about how he thinks about the miles from nowhere that you travel in your life, and your body's going to be a good friend, but in the end, we don't need the body, we got something else.
Miles from nowhere, Yes, I'll take my time. Oh, yeah. To reach there, look up at the mountain I have to climb. Oh, yeah. To reach there, Lord, my body has been a good friend, but I won't need it when I reach the end. Miles from nowhere, I guess I take my time. Oh, yeah, to reach there. I creep through the valleys and I grope through the woods, 'cause I know when I find it, my honey, it's gonna make me feel good. Yes, I love everything, so don't it make you feel sad? 'Cause I'll drink to you, my baby, I'll think to that, I'll think to that. Miles from nowhere, not a soul inside. Oh yeah, but it's all right. I have my freedom. I can make my own rules. Oh yeah, the ones that I choose. Lord, my body has been a good friend. I won't need it when I reach the end. I love everything, so don't it make you feel sad? 'Cause I'll drink to you, my baby, I'll think to that. Yes, I'll think to that. I'll think to that. Oh. Miles from nowhere, guess I'll take my time. Oh yeah, to reach there.
Miles from Nowhere. I think that might be my favorite Cat Stevens song, though. There's a lot to compete there. Lord, my body's been a good friend. I won't need it when I reach the end. As Jamal Mitchell did way too soon. Remembered this week in New Haven. You're listening to Headlines and Basslines, WNHH-FM 103.5, live streamed, WNHH.org. Here's a headline from The Independent this week that caught my eye. Just kidding, period. Only 1 of 5 pools to open this summer. Okay, the heat wave's already begun today, folks. And we just started the summer. We know it's going to be wicked hot. And they're always worrying in the city, what are young people going to do? And anybody, when they're like schwitzing all the time. Communities need pools. This is not a new idea. If we want to have a place where people could just live, chill, be together, deal with the elements, you need pools. We have pools in a lot of our schools. You spent $2 billion rebuilding our schools. We had 5 that were supposed to be open this summer. Only 1 will be at Hill House. In 2 of the cases, repair work started later than expected. At Connie West and John Martinez, no excuse. It's a failure. It's a big fail. Maybe the contractors will listen to the average white band, get it moving a little faster than expected, and pick up the pieces. The Average White Band is picking up the pieces. How about the Board of Ed in the city of New Haven? You got 5 pools. You got a hot city. You got a long summer. And because you screwed up on maintaining it, the pools, only one of the pools is open. It just got me thinking. We did used to have a mayor who, if that kind of thing happened and he found out about it at 9 a.m., there would be hell to pay by 9:15. There'd be people who'd be coming in to explain, try to explain, being told it's not good enough, and just something was going to happen. Some decision would be made by 9:30, and by the end of the day, there would be work started, and there would be pools open. It is a failure of government. It goes all the way to the top. It is unacceptable. It is not always that way in government. You have some people in charge who make sure that, of course, you always have mix-ups, you have screw-ups, but you're not going to have a whole hot summer with 4 out of 5 pools in your public schools not being used and people having no place to swim. It's basic. Government 101. New Haven failed. Headlines and Basslines, WNHH-FM. Look at the headlines in New Haven and stories behind them from the New Haven Independent. Here's another, it's graduation season. So I loved seeing all the graduation pictures and stories in the Independent. The staff made out to a lot of graduations this year to see people's hopes and dreams, and they're so excited about getting over the finish line and trying to get sometimes the words inspiration, sometimes not so inspiring, but just being there and with their families and celebrating each other and a milestone of what comes next. Interesting story in there was graduations reveal enrollment divide. Graduations reveal enrollment divide. So at Fairhaven School, which is where our fastest growing population, their kids often land, an immigrant population from Latin America and Afghanistan in the Hill in Fairhaven. They're booming. A lot of people graduated from Fairhaven Middle School, Fairhaven School, the middle school there. And then on the west side of town, Brennan Rogers, 8 kids graduated. There's practically no one left at that school. And it's a complicated question. That was one of the original community schools in New Haven, built to interact with a neighborhood. That's an isolated neighborhood in West Rock. You had 4 public housing developments cut off from the rest of the city by West Rock. And it was important to have a community school. Over the years, we got away from neighborhood schools and community schools. So even before it shrank so much, and I don't know the whole reason why it shrank so much, people were spending an hour or two a day on a bus to get to that school, while kids from that neighborhood go to other schools where the parents want them to go. And that debate has gone back and forth. They say you like to have a lot of options for public schools for parents. If they have a kid who likes music, go to Betsy Ross. If you like arts, go to Co-op. If you like science and technology, go to ESUMS. But especially at the K-8 level, the real reason people wanted that choice is that most of the schools are considered not that good by parents. Let's just say it, okay, whether it's accurate or not. They're desperate to get their kids someplace where they're going to learn something. So they like that choice, and then everyone fights about who wins the lottery and gets to go to those schools. And we spend a lot of money and waste kids' productive time and ruin the environment with all these endless busing that's complicated across the city. I mean, you want some busing for certain special programs, especially going to high school. But neighbor schools are not happening, even though we built all the schools physically. So given the financial pressures New Haven schools, which, by the way, they're not at fault for that. Every school's facing it. The federal pandemic relief money's gone or petering out. But given that, how could they be keeping open a school with 8 kids in the graduating class? Either make it a neighborhood school again, or don't wait another year to decide when to close. That's all I got to say. But with the graduation, we're going to wish the teachers a fun break from the kids you love so much. And even some of the ones, even if you love them, they sometimes approach school the way this one individual does, sung by the Coasters. Charlie Brown calling the teacher Daddy-O.
Fee, fee, fi, fi, fo, fo, fum. I smell smoke in the auditorium. Charlie Brown, Charlie Brown, he's a clown. That Charlie Brown, he's gonna get caught. Just you wait and see.
Why is everybody always picking on me?
That's him on his knees. I know that's him yelling 7, 11 down in the boys' gym. Charlie Brown, Charlie Brown, he's a clown. That Charlie Brown.
everybody always picking on me?
Who's always writing on the wall? Who's always goofing in the hall? Who's always throwing spitballs? Guess who?
Who, me?
Who walks in the classroom cool and slow? Who calls the English teacher daddy-o? Charlie Brown, Charlie Brown. He's a clown, the Charlie Brown. He's gonna get caught, just you wait and see.
Why is everybody always picking on me?
Who walks in the classroom cool and slow? Who calls the English teacher daddy-o? Charlie Brown, Charlie Brown. He's a clown, that Charlie Brown. He's gonna get caught, just you wait and see.
Why is everybody always picking on me?
Love that sax playing. But what's this world coming to? When a student can go in smooth and slow, walking into class and call him the English teacher daddy-o. The coasters were all on top of that one. At our graduation season. Headlines and Basslines, WNHH FM, your home for community radio at 103.5 FM and live streamed at WNHH.org. In case you missed this story, you might not have missed it. I highly recommend reading this one to understand one of the biggest stories about what's changing in our community. Cannabis CEO, : It's not easy selling green. Tom Breen got to interview the CEO of this national cannabis company. Just opened our second dispensary, INSA, on Long Wharf. As usual, despite promises from the government, legalizing recreational cannabis did not create an opening for people of color affected by the drug war to go into business. We're still having just endless underground, unregulated, and not necessarily as safe sales of cannabis happening. Smoke shops, they say, all over the country. But in any case, Peter Gallagher's going to make a ton of money there at the former Long Wharf Theater. He talked about how hard it is to go into this business, hard work. You don't just reap the profits right away. You can't bring in product from other states. You can't get banking easily, so you get these 20%, which are kind of pretty bad loans. But he obviously is making enough money. He comes from a finance background that he can still have what John Prine had when he was a customer back in the day before legal cannabis, and he reported about his illegal smile.
When I woke up this morning, things were looking bad. Seemed like total silence was the only friend I had. A bowl of oatmeal tried to stare me down, and it was 12 o'clock before I realized I was having no fun. But fortunately, I have the key to escape reality. And you may see me tonight with an illegal smile. It don't cost very much, but it lasts a long while. Won't you please tell the man I didn't kill anyone? No, I'm just trying to have me some fun. The last time I checked my bankroll, it was getting thin. Sometimes it seems like the bottom is the only place I've been. I chased a rainbow down a one-way street, dead end, and all my friends turned out to be insurance salesmen. But fortunately, I have the key to escape reality. And you may see me tonight with an illegal smile. It don't cost very much, anyone. No, I'm just trying to have me some fun. Well, I sat down in my closet with all my overalls, trying to get away from all the ears inside my walls. I dreamed the police heard everything I thought. What then? Well, I went to court and the judge's name was Hoffman. Ah, but fortunately I have the key to escape reality, and you may see me tonight with an illegal smile. It don't cost very much, but it lasts a long while. Won't you please tell the man I didn't kill anyone? No, I'm just trying to have me some fun. Well done, hot dog bun. My sister's a nun.
Well, thanks to some former Wall Street type guys, John Prine, if he were around today, could have that smile legally and enrich the CEO of INSA at the old Long Wharf Theater. Headlines at Basslines. There was a story in one of our pals, our friend publications, the arts paper. Lucy Gelman wrote, Super John Tournament keeps his memory alive. Super John Williamson was one of the basketball greats to come out of New Haven and Wilbur Cross. In fact, the first time I ever heard about New Haven and thought about New Haven, I was, I don't know, maybe 10 or 11. My brother and I used to listen to the old New York Nets ABA games on a small transistor radio. And Super John Williamson was a star guard for this up-and-coming team, this up-and-coming league, which eventually got folded into the NBA. John Williamson was an all-star, and he got interviewed after the game one night after scoring a lot of points. And he started talking on and on about New Haven, how he used to learned how to play really well with all these great guys and people playing at Gough Street Park. I didn't remember the Gough Street Park, but years later when I met him, found out that's what he was talking about. And he kept saying New Haven, New Haven. My brother and I were just laughing about this and saying, okay, New Haven must be quite the place. And when I moved to New Haven years later, I did get to interview Super John. He didn't do well with his money and his fame. He came back to New Haven, didn't have a lot of money left, became a corrections guard, well liked at Whaley Avenue, I believe, if I remember correctly. This was 40 years ago. And I interviewed him on Mansfield Street when the New Haven Independent had a print paper, our first issue. Very nice guy. And he was very proud of his son, Maurice, who was a star at Cross. He said Maurice was going to be better than he ever was. That's a dad talking. His daughters, Kali and Shariba, have started a tournament to keep his memory alive on those same Gough Street Park courts. And I'm thinking when you sink a shot, there's a swish on the tournament in that court. You do it, Beyonce does on her new album, Cowboy Carter, and lift two hands to heaven for Super John.
Bottle in my hand, the whiskey up high. Two hands to heaven, wild horses run wild. Oh, God only knows why though. Yeah. Rhinestones and diamonds both shine in the light. Two hands to heaven, my whiskey up high. Oh, God only knows why though. In the Arizona heat, summer fling, saw your best side. Slip into my dreams every night, be the good guy. Who am I to judge my baby? Who am I to love my baby? Purple colored pink, sugar cane, hitting them 16 switches, candy apple green, candy paint, swirling 24-inch spinners. Swirl. Don't judge me, baby. You would never judge me, baby. Bottle in my hand, my whiskey up high. Two hands to heaven, coyotes run wild. Oh, God only knows why though. why though? Why though? Two hands to heaven, I pray, please forgive my soul. Lovely daggers pierced my heart many moons ago. Toxic roses chased by wolves and carnivores. Lost virgins with broken wings that will regrow. I'm a stallion running, no candle in the wind. You won't ever see me coming or going, but you'll know whenever I'm here. Dancing in the moonlight, catching every breeze. My feet on the dashboard, and I go really fast, boy. Ever since I went to my fire, ain't no trouble on my mind. Singing sweet songs till I Vegas, singing I will carry on, carry on, carry on, carry on, carry on. Singing I will carry on. 10,000 steps towards the time of your life. Two hands to heaven, my whiskey up high. Oh, oh, God only knows why though. Why? Rhinestones and diamonds both shine in the light. Two hands to heaven, coyotes run wild. Oh, God only knows why though. God only knows why though. Two hands to heaven, I pray, please forgive my soul. Lovely daggers pierced my heart many moons ago. Toxic roses chased by wolves and carnivores. Lost virgins with broken wings that will regrow. Swirl. This the real you? This the real me? I can't do nothing but envy. Bliss, please. Your love run through me like lava. Throw my fit over these hips. You grip, I grind, then taste this wine. I'ma taste what's mine. I'ma take what's mine. Wonder whatever, wherever's fine. Like water. Wherever you wanna go, that's fine with me. I'll never stop you. You never stop me from being whatever we need to be. And in these dark times, I'm so glad that this love is blinding. Cause all I see is the best of you, and all you see is the best of me. And you bring out the best of me, and all I see is everything. Your goals, your glow, your inner being, and our bigger meaning. So let's lose us in these sheets, yeah. And when I get up to walk, I wanna feel weak, yeah. But I ain't going far, so stay where you are. Feel like you partied in Venus, and we woke up in Mars. I've been waiting my whole life. I'm gonna give you the best years of your life. You and I, baby, I've been waiting my whole life for you and I.
Beyonce from her new album Cowboy Carter. Two hands to heaven. Thinking of Super John Williamson there. Yes, I really love that album. Thanks for joining us this hour on Headlines and Basslines. Thanks to Harry Trost, the station manager from heaven, who keeps the station going in all realms. We're going to take it out with the Afro-Semitic Experience, performing I Wish I Knew How It Would Feel to Be Free, from the group CD A Plea for Peace. Stay cool this weekend, folks. This is Paul Bass inviting you to fly free with us all day, all night, and all weekend long on WNHH New Haven's home for community radio.